Hello and welcome to this edition of the NCW Life magazine. I'm Jay Seebeck. On Thursday, September 28th, the Greater Wenatchee Area Technology Alliance hosted a viewing party of the film She Started It, a documentary of the struggles and perseverance of female entrepreneurs in the world. After the film, a panel of local lady entrepreneurs shared their thoughts and experiences of carving their own future here in North Central Washington. The panel was led by Kelly Scott of the Wenatchee World. The panelists were Lisa Stanton of Lisa B's Bistro, Jennifer Brandt with Where Bluebirds Fly Photography, Kara Heckenmiller and Annie Hissey of Montessori Elementary School, and Jennifer Corfiatis of Jennifer Corfiatis Marketing. I'm going to show you the trailer for the documentary She Started It. Then we'll take a break and hear from the panelists.
Around age 4, little boys and girls start kind of correlating careers with genders.
Seeing people that are successful that are mainly white men, that's sending a signal that says, I don't really belong.
I think that if there was a really influential female role model in computer sciences, I would be more interested.
There could definitely be a lot more role models out there. We just haven't heard about them.
Well, congratulations on being an 18-year-old with a startup.
Globally. No one has done it before, including Google.
If you're not hell-bent on fixing a problem for irrational reasons, you're probably going to give up.
Un peu fatigant parce qu'on enchaîne les rendez-vous heure après heure.
Some friends text me about, oh my gosh, I'm having this boy issue, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having this investor issue.
My name is Brienne Gafouri-Farr. I became the youngest college graduate to raise $1 million in funding.
Je suis Agathe Molinard, donc CEO de lemoncurve.com.
I talk to my friends and I'm like, I have a friend who's an entrepreneur, and they think it's cool.
People came to Silicon Valley to pursue their $1 million dream. We already make $1 million.
What does it mean to change the world?
I want to do something for a living.
Yeah, I have a life. I have careers.
I think for young girls in particular, the opportunity is phenomenal. Being an entrepreneur is one of the most exciting things in the world. The opportunity to take your vision and make it a reality.
Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life Community Calendar at ncwlife.com.
Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com. Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.
It's time to hear from our panel of local female entrepreneurs with GWATA on the NCW Life magazine.
But these are all successful business women, so how did you get your start in that? I mean, it must have been sort of a decision you were working for a dentist at the time.
It was, yes. So I went to college and I got 3 college degrees and I got married, had children, got the dream job, made a lot of money, had the home, had the car. It was not fulfilling enough for me. I was told you cannot have time off. You can't get off work early. You can't go to the water slides with your kids. I had 1 week off a year, and it was not good enough for me as a mom. And I treated other people's children as they were my own at work, and I gave them everything I had, and I got home at the end of the day, and I didn't have enough energy for my own kids. So that was the defining moment for me. So after 12 years, I walked away and said, there's got to be more. And I don't care if I don't make any money. My husband did, but he's like, oh. But I said, I don't care what it takes. I've got to be a mom. And at that point, I chose my children for the first time since I had them. And they were 6 and 8. Now they're 9 and 11. And I'm spending as much time as I want with them. And I closed my business down for 3.5 months out of the year to be with them because it's not about the money at all. So, yes.
That's wonderful. I want to ask Annie and Kara the same question. When did you make that leap? Obviously, you guys both had this same idea in mind. You love the idea of Montessori schooling. You want to do this together, but that's quite the leap to go from an education background to a small business owner.
It was quite the leap, and neither of us did it intending to, but it literally did happen in the conversation. When many of you knew Martin Sorum, he gave her my number, and she called me and said, hi, my name's Kara. We need a Montessori in Wenatchee that goes past the age of 6. And I said, I know, me too. She said, Martin Sorum gave me your number. I said, I love him. Let's talk. And in that conversation, it was clear to both of us that we would go from 2 moms who wanted this in the community for our own children to 2 teachers who would figure out the business portion and surround ourselves with a team of people that would help us do the things that we had nothing about. Like, are you kidding? Like, people who are prone to teaching children don't necessarily love to look at a budget and understand what that looks like. Not necessarily. And so it was a process of, okay, this has to happen. It's for our own babies. And that's where that came in, that for us, something that really was a thing that leapt out at me in the movie. I loved Stacey, and I wanted to hold her and say, just hug her a little bit. Sweetheart, find something that absolutely lights you on fire that you can't not do with your life. And then you're going to see things open up, because for us, it was about, we've got to find a way to make it work. And, oh, here's someone who will help me. And let's make a team and let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to add to that I resonate with what Lisa said, that this was a mother choice first, and then it was an entrepreneur choice second. And it just happened to work out that we were able to make ends meet, Annie and I, with our 4 or 5 other jobs, so that we could start this business and not pay ourselves for a while and volunteer our time, because it was our children's education at risk first. And then we were able to build this environment and this opportunity for other children in the Valley whose parents were having the same experience that we were having. Our children just don't necessarily fit in this box, and we need an alternative for them. And that's, in terms of the film, I don't know that I resonated with every single woman on the film, just because we're talking about 2 different fields, but Stacey certainly, that it feels a little icky to go against the flow and go against the grain, especially with her parents. And I saw that on her face and on her parents' face in their conversation with her around the dinner table. But it feels a little icky to make waves and make change, but it's worth it in the end. And she's obviously following her heart, which is, I think, the purpose of what we're doing here is to follow your heart, figure out what you want to do, and go for it. Go do it.
There was a lot of failure in that film. I mean, these are bright young women, but it just shows you how much you kind of have to try and fail and try again. So Jennifer Corfiatis, speaking of failure. But
that's awesome.
I wanted to talk to you because you do have this very successful marketing business in town, and a lot of name recognition, and I want to talk to you about how scary it is to be an entrepreneur, because you are not working for someone else. You eat what you kill. I mean, and I'm not, and I don't think I could do it. And so I want just, what is that like, and how did you make that decision to set up your own shop, and early failures and how you learn from it and all that?
Yeah, it's terrifying, quite honestly. I mean, there are, of course, no guarantees. And certainly I've had moments where I've done my own personal budget and tried to figure out if I could pay the utility bill. I think maybe we've all been there, and that's a very humbling thing, especially when you have a child that you have to also feed. But in a way, for me, I think maybe I'm competitive enough or stubborn enough that that's what sort of fuels me. Like, I'm not sure how I'm going to keep food on the table, but come hell or high water, I'm going to find a way. And so for me, I've kind of used that as motivation to really strive. And luckily I'm type A enough, and I really genuinely love what I do enough that my challenge is actually drawing that line around not working 24 hours a day, because I legitimately, genuinely love it that much. And so it's finding that, if I have a greatest challenge, it's finding that personal professional balance, and I'm terrible at it. And so speaking of failure, that is one of them. It's not my forte, and it's something that I struggle with daily, but it's a pretty awesome option to have. I mean, I consider myself blessed every day that I love what I do so much, and that people entrust me with their businesses and respect my opinion enough that they're willing to take what I have to say with some, I guess, legitimacy. That's a pretty awesome place to be.
Okay, cool. And then Jen, do you want to talk about your business and how you made the leap from employee to business owner?
Yeah, I kind of did the opposite of what these ladies did. I had a job that was super fulfilling. Like, I was a nurse. I did all these great things for people, and I started taking pictures of my children, and I had people start asking me to take pictures of them, and I kept questioning, well, I have this fulfilling job, and is photography really fulfilling for me? And then I realized that my family can be my fulfillment. So I did the opposite. I was in this job, I was on this course, this was great, I was making money, and my family was suffering, and I couldn't see for the longest time that they were my fulfillment. I didn't need this job to do it. So I kind of just jumped into it, and I think I love the film because it shows people failing, because I did everything when I started. And I sucked at weddings, and I sucked at, seniors. It took me a while to realize that these are not my fortes, but I just kept going and going and going, and I had people say, you can't just do kids, you can't just do babies, you can't do that, and I did it anyways. And it's become really successful, and I now get to spend tons of time with my children, and like Lisa said, I don't come home and not have anything left to give for them. And I get to take great pictures of them, and they get to be involved in the creativity and stuff. So,
The NCW Life magazine will be right back.
Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com. Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.
The GWATA panel of local lady entrepreneurs continues on the NCW Life magazine.
Yeah. And now the female question. Setbacks because we're women. Have you seen professionally? I know the professions we're talking about tonight are very different from Silicon Valley, which is famously hostile to female entrepreneurs. So, we were talking about education, photography. So what do we think about this? Is the fact that you're women, has that had any effect on your business? Any challenges, benefits?
For us, I think it's the opposite, because we're following in the footsteps of like the first woman doctor, the first woman to get an MD in Italy, Maria Montessori. So everyone sort of expects Montessorians to be women, and they're really excited when they're men. So we're sort of the opposite side of that. Any of you have a different experience?
So to this day, I can't say I've had any setbacks being a woman. But to this day, when I attend a meeting and there are several people in the room, I'm often struck by the fact that I'm the only woman at the table, still to this day. And I hope that in the span of my professional career, we are not female entrepreneurs, we are just entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And I hope that we see that day. And I know that there's a big push towards girls and females in STEM education, and I hope we get to the point where it's just STEM education, because we really need to be there.
Great. Thank you. Do we have some questions from you guys? Or? Okay, they're collecting. We've talked about failures. You want to talk about that first success with your business where you thought, I might actually be able to do this? Does anyone want to talk about that?
So the word success, I don't love. I don't feel successful with many things in my life, but I have certain things that I'm proud of. I don't know that success is the word. I don't really know what that means, I guess. I'm striving for it, but I don't know what it is. I feel happy that I have 2 happy, healthy boys. I'm still married with my husband for over 17 years. That's a success. My children love me. That's great. So success is kind of a funny word to me, but there have been times where I have felt it. The first time was my second season running Lisa B's, and I decided to do a fundraiser, and my goal was to raise $1,000, and in one day we raised almost $9,000 for a little girl that had cancer in our town. And from then I thought, whoa, this is so much bigger than my little sandwich shop, and look at what my little sandwich shop can do. So from there, I just kind of made a quick list, and this list is what makes me feel successful. Being able to contribute to the Little Black Dress Party, Eastmont High School football, Washington Elementary School, Youth Hockey Association, North Central Washington Fair, St. Catholic School, the Alethea Riding Center, Mission Ridge Ski Team, Wenatchee FC, the Brave Warrior Project, East Wenatchee Police Department, Sunny Slope Elementary, the Chelan County PUD, Kashmir Booster Club. I feel like this list is what makes me feel successful. This is who we've helped in the last 2 years of being in business. We're on our 3rd season now, so first year I didn't know my head from my other end, and so I just was trying to get through a day surviving. So 2nd and 3rd year, I feel like we're on the right track, and so this list is what makes me happy.
And your milkshakes are so
good.
good.
The milkshakes are pretty bomb too.
Anybody else, that first success or something you're especially proud of in your career?
I think my first success is when I realized that I had value. And my second success was when other people realized that I had value, in what I did. But my biggest success so far is that what I've learned in website creating, marketing, all that stuff has allowed me to help my daughter start a charity fund that she's now raised like $3,000 with in a couple months. And so being able to pass that on, all those things that I've learned to my kids and really help them start at the age of 10, doing some of those things, I think has probably been my hugest success. And I know that's not in business, but it came from my business.
Well, and I was just in a meeting the other day with Jenny, and we were talking about how the definition of what a tech business is nowadays is so different than just what you saw on the screen tonight. It's just not Microsoft and Google. It's to Milt. It's a photography business. You have to know those things and be innovative to make it. So, yeah. I know we have questions for the audience. While I have Lisa Stanton here, I don't know if you guys know or follow Lisa B's on Facebook or any of the social sites, but she is fabulous on there. And so I wanted to ask her a question specifically about social media. We talked a little bit before the show started. We do live in this world now where people can reach out and touch you on social media anytime they want, and you're very proactive. You respond to critics and fans alike, and you really get in there. Can you talk to me about how you approach social media with your business?
Social media is something that scares me so much, but has helped my business grow. I will not allow my children to be on social media if in all my power. I will not, because it is so dangerous and it is so harmful. But the fact that in one day I can do one simple post and reach 8,000 people, and it draws my customers in, I'd be crazy not to. It helps me plan events. It helps me raise money. It helps me sell our products. And so I put my life out there on it. I really do. I don't hold anything back. And I think that customers appreciate that honesty. It can be quite harsh sometimes, you know. I'm brutally honest, and I think that it's okay for me to fight back sometimes when customers or when people have harmful things that they say. Most businesses would just ignore it, but I have a voice. I'm going to use it, and I'm going to defend myself. You know, I did a post earlier this year. I had been run over and run over. I don't know if those of you know, I live on my farm where our business is, so I stare at it. You know, I literally live there. It's very clean. I used to be a hygienist. I can't help it. I'm constantly, if you've been out there, you've seen me cleaning the garbage cans, scrubbing the floor, cleaning the tables. I love it to be clean. And it's been thrashed by people. And we've been abused. And I had enough. And I spoke out this year, and I said, enough is enough. Please don't come to my place if you plan to disrespect it. That post reached 70,000 people. And we gained almost 1,000 new followers in like a 2-day span. I think other business owners feel the same as I do. Other people, humans, they're tired of being taken advantage of. Customers, I'm just gonna say, customers are not always right. Standing in my flower pot, peeing in our yard, not right. And I have a voice, and I use it, and I stick up for myself and my employees. I kicked a man out the other day because he got upset because we asked for his ID. He didn't show it. He threw his money at my staff. She came in my office crying. I said, who's this man? Where is he? I went out and I found him, and I said, you will not disrespect my employees. These are my girls. They're working. This is a young mother with a baby who's trying to earn some extra cash to buy a wedding dress. Do not disrespect her, and you actually need to leave. And the power of taking that back from people who just treat others unfairly in all aspects of life, it's not okay anymore, you know? It's not okay.
You're tough and you're authentic, and I think that completely comes through on social media. So thank you for that.
Cool, thank you.
We had a couple of questions from the audience having to do with mentorships. How do you find mentors? And I think as women, like you were talking about, so often we're the only females in the room. And the idea of you can't be what you can't see. And so seeking out female role models in your professions is important. So how have you found mentors? Have you had mentors in the past? And do you seek out younger people to help find their way?
Yeah, well, we couldn't find anyone locally that was really doing what we were doing. That's the point of our business being successful, we think, is we were filling a niche that was not filled. But we went outward. We went to Seattle, we went to Yakima, and now in our next step, we're going nationwide, worldwide, looking for people that are doing what we strive to do well. And I think that's the key, is expanding our boundaries. We have the capability to do that via social media or just using the old World Wide Web, figuring out who's doing what well, where, and going there. So we spend a lot of our time in other cities looking at elementary Montessori schools that are successful. What are they doing that we're not doing, or what are they doing that we can modify for our valley? And in terms of having people come in and looking at our business, we are constantly looking at the whole person, like we look at the whole child in terms of staffing and figuring out, okay, who is this person? Will they mesh well with our personalities? And it doesn't matter what your qualifications are. We're looking at you as a person. Will you fit with our program? If you do, great. We'll teach you. We'll train you. It's not a big deal for us. So we're looking forward to growing our staff in that way.
Jennifer, I think you were going to say something about mentors and how you've...
No, but I can.
Have you had any mentors in your life?
No, not really. And this has actually been an interesting conversation in a couple of the professional groups that I've been in. I wish I had, and I wish my answer were different. But I've sort of, the visual that I get with my career is I'm going through this dark maze and I sort of bump into the wall and I turn the other direction. And so any mentor that I've had has been a little bit more situational, where I need to know about something and I know somebody that knows about that thing, and so I call them and they're kind enough to share their information with me, and then I need to know the next thing and I go to the next person. I wish I had somebody over my career that was more of an ongoing mentor, but I'd love to meet them now.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fabulous?
I'm open if anybody has.
But you have to make the call, basically. If you have a question, ask.
Yeah, and it's all about, I'm a big fan of surrounding yourself with people who are smarter than you. And so I've gotten pretty far doing that. And they make me better thanks to their wisdom.
Thanks for watching this edition of the NCW Life magazine. I'm Jay Seebeck, and I'll see you all again real soon.
Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com. Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.